Not late. We're not late. We're a few minutes before noon, before I got started. Got to get my computer to open up anyway. So I wanted to kind of follow up what Elijah was praying about as far as the baby with Brandon. And Brandon texted me this morning. They're going to induce on Tuesday. So please keep them in your prayers that everything will go according to the plan. I believe he is planning on preaching next Sabbath. But I told him to have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan when it comes to things like that. I wanted to share with you a new video that's out, and I'll talk about it after it plays. Be a friend, Brooke. Have you ever trusted someone and they let you down? Maybe a friend broke a promise or life just didn't turn out the way you planned. It hurts and makes trusting anyone, even God, feel risky. David must have experienced something like that because he wrote in Psalms 9 and verse 10, "Those who know your name will put their trust in you. For you, Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you." The key is in that phrase, those who know your name. The more you truly know God, His character, His faithfulness, His love, the easier it becomes to trust Him, even when life feels uncertain. So today, when you feel unsure about what's next, pause, breathe, and remember who God is. The one who never fails is writing your story, and you can trust His pen. We have, it's all right. We have 3 videos, and they're on our YouTube channel. So if you wanted to see them or you wanted to put them on your social media and spread that out a little bit, you can go to the Laurel Heights website and go down to the YouTube channel and look under videos. I think it's there. But we're trying to reach people in the community, help them see a face that goes with the church, so that when we put out the invitation for them to come for the evangelistic series, they have a familiar face that they see and know that's connected to the church. We have 6 of these paid for, which means we have 3 of them done, and we're going to do 3 more. And we'll see if we want to continue that or what later on. But please share them on your social media pages so that people have the opportunity to know a little bit more about us. Seems like there was something else I was supposed to tell you, but I've forgotten, so we're just going to go on with the sermon, if that's okay. Oh, I'm going to be leaving to go see my grandchildren this week. So I won't be here, so if something comes up, I would tell you to call Brandon, but we all know what he's going to be doing this week. So our third option is Doug. So if something comes up that's, really important, my phone is on, but feel free to call Doug, and if we need to scramble and help with something, we will certainly do it. Okay? So I hope all of you have a great Thanksgiving. The Bible is filled with examples of people who were faced with the choice to obey God, but they chose their own way instead. Abraham took Sarah's advice rather than waiting on God for a son, and we see that in the story in Genesis 16. Moses struck a rock instead of speaking to it like he was commanded to by God, and we see that story in Numbers 20. Then we have Jonah, who boarded a boat to Tarshish after God asked him to go to Nineveh. And of course, that story is in Jonah, the 1st chapter. And those are a few of the many examples And what was the result of each of these instances of disobedience? Well, it's hard consequences, sad consequences, all because they didn't do what God was asking. But God always has a reason for asking certain things, and His ways are always best. Isaiah 55:8 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, and your ways are not my ways, saith the Lord." I'm sure that all of these people had, at least in their mind, seemingly legitimate ways of justifying why their course of action was better than God's, just like any of us do when we're trying to find a way out of obedience. Maybe His way seems too hard or too complicated. Maybe it seems too scary, or it will make us look strange, or downright just doesn't make sense. But the problem with every one of these things is the focus on ourselves rather than God. I know better. I can figure out an easier way than this. I don't want to look silly. A true heart of obedience doesn't look for excuses. Instead, its disposition is, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how little sense it makes to me, and no matter how much I may lose, I will do anything you ask me because I love you. We have to remember that God sees the whole picture from the beginning of creation until the end of time. Not just in our life, but in the lives of everyone. Everybody. And in contrast, we only see the tiniest fraction of what is happening in the here and now. But when we look back through history, we see countless evidences that there is nothing outside of His control. Despite the innumerable sins that have been committed, through tragedies and disasters, God will still displays His love and His faithfulness, His power, His sovereignty, and works all things together for good to those who love God and to those who are called according to His purpose. When God asks something of us, it's always for our good and for His glory. When we choose not to obey, we're actually depriving ourselves of blessings, the blessing of being a part of something that could be a testimony of His awe-inspiring greatness. No matter what obedience might cost us, it's nothing compared to the prize that awaits us in eternity. Today's sermon is titled, "At Your Word." There once was a farmer living through a terrible drought. And day after day, he looked across his dry, cracked fields, and he prayed for rain. But the skies asked him, "Why are you still out here working this field? Can't you see that nothing is going to grow?